Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. We have not only the game one ending, but also a change in wardrobe. Kangas is finally joining us with the pattern shirt gang.
Oh, it's got lobsters.
I felt left out before. Yeah, this is the first one I could find that I wasn't in a box, so it's a little tight, but we're making it work.
All right, good. Well, hopefully we didn't make you miss out on too much while you were going through all your moving boxes. But to catch anyone up who missed out on game one, 100 Thieves had a pretty dominating game against Immortals Academy to start things off, and everything, whole story is this first big fight in the bottom lane, Josh.
So it really just starts off where we see this play coming through, right? Immortals look like they want to go in for things, but they don't look really committed to the play. They don't really know what they want to do. There's no real way for them to continue this fight, whereas 100 Thieves are all aboard the train. Look at how far forward they go. They're able to get the Rift Herald crash, they get a couple of kills, and this is kind of the story of the entire thing, where throughout the majority of the game, Immortals looked a little bit lost, whereas 100 Thieves, every single time, everybody was on board as soon as the Owen Horn was called.
Which is a little ironic considering this play in particular was one of the ones that Immortals did actually look good.
It was the one play. The one play, Immortals.
The one play.
This is where I thought the game might tilt back into Immortals' favor, but watch Poom here. You're going to see this, I think, twice throughout the replays. Basically the same play. 100 Thieves just playing around Fog of War better, having set up around objectives bigger. Oh, that triple knockout for Tenacity is just a thing of beauty. But Immortals, it felt like they were trying to make plays early on, but they just weren't coordinated enough for it, fell too far behind. And I was chatting with the coach Jensen earlier, and he mentioned, Joshi, you referenced this early on the show as well, that shot calling responsibilities have kind of shifted from Pretty over to Joey throughout the season. And when you're playing Gragas support, when you're this far behind, you're building AP, you have Aftershock, you're not going to be able to provide the same kind of shot calling that you would if you're the team that's ahead. It's really difficult to actually make those kinds of calls from the position that they were in, and it just felt like 100 Thieves were so solid that they just kept getting bigger and bigger leads.
I think it's also important to note here that when you are the shot caller and when you're weak, even if you're normally a really good shot caller, but you just don't have the tools to make anything happen, it kind of, you project that onto the rest of the team. It's like, well, if I'm weak, clearly the rest of my team must be weak as well. So it's really hard to make a lot of the proactive calls that they really needed to. He missed, 4 or 5. I guess he didn't miss, but they were ineffectual ultimates throughout the entire thing. And I feel like when Joey falls that far behind, I really want to see how well they're able to bounce back in the next game, because we know he's better than that, right? That was not a good game, but I think he can bring it back in future games.
Yeah, we've definitely seen Joey have higher highs throughout the regular Academy season, and especially in some of Immortals Academy's biggest wins in the season, even when they've taken down 100 Thieves. It was off the back of Joey's crucial engages. But this game one, whether it's nerves coming into Academy seasons for quarterfinals or it's just a rough game, it happens to the best of us, it does not take away from the fact that now Immortals Academy are down 0-1, but this is a best of 5. I think the other thing that we have to point out, Kangas, is this topside advantage that Immortals Academy drafted, but never really played around in terms of Viper's Jace.
So it was weird to me because the Jace was getting a small CS advantage topside. Then they went for that red buff invade. They didn't hard commit to it. Joshi was mentioning that there was a window that he thought that if Viper had just gone right there with the lane priority, maybe they could have actually turned that. But instead, Immortals, they dip off the red buff. They just give over Rift Herald to 100 Thieves, and they don't contest that either, despite the fact that they had that Jace. It really felt like they drafted the way that Immortals like to draft, but they didn't play to the lane that they like to play to.
And I think it's kind of telling, too, that when you don't play to a Jace, it becomes very difficult. Ornn has always been not the best thing into Jace, but can always hold their own. And we also saw Tenacity go with a little bit of an interesting item build that I actually had to go do the math on in the middle of the game, because most people will build it plated steel caps, right? When you're playing up against this ranged auto attacker against the Jays, you just do that. But he opted for the Warden's Mail, and I did confirm this, guys. It is mathematically strictly better to be going for the Warden's Mail as Ornn, because you get the 10% extra armor. It's effectively 30 extra armor plus even more auto attack reduction.
Say that again one more
Then
time,
you're going to be
Josh.
building that into Frozen Heart.
Oh, auto
What?
attack
Say what?
reduction. It was auto attack reduction.
Auto attack reduction.
Okay. Gotta get that down.
Yeah, I see you're taking notes.
This is
Pepe.
the biggest flex an analyst can do, by the way, is like legitimately doing math on the broadcast or like before the games come back.
We have
Yeah.
we get time to pull up the stats and check out all the item values. So this is actually super cool. I mean, Smack's also.
Sorry, Mazel and Smacks, you can't do it in the middle of the game. Or at least it's very obvious when it's like, oh, wait, hold on. Sorry, Mazel, keep talking. I'm doing math.
Don't worry, the analyst desk is here to break down and crunch all the numbers in the Mad Science Lab. Now, as we're getting ready for Game 2 in this draft, Immortals have selected blue side going into the second game, which means that maybe they want to go once again towards a similar strategy and this time execute on getting Viper ahead, or, Josh, I'm going to come to you and see if you can take a crack at what Immortals are planning for this next game.
Ultimately, it tends to be easier to play blue side from the top lane, right? Even though you're not going to be getting counterpick as consistently, it is harder to gank the blue side top lane from the red side than it is for blue side to dive the red side. So I'm really expecting that Immortals are kind of recognizing this difference coming through, and they're going to be looking to play a little bit more heavily towards Viper than we saw in Game 1.
Yeah, I'd have to echo that. I think that if we had to identify like the biggest mistake that they would have made throughout that last game, it's the fact that they kind of left Viper on an island and they didn't try and push that chase. But I mean, we're talking about the Immortals side a lot here. I also want to just mention 100 Thieves, the fact that they drafted something that we haven't seen them draft in a while. This was a different looking team composition, and they played it incredibly well. The fact that they didn't shut down, but just kind of like walled up Viper in the top lane. They were answering all these plays that Immortals was throwing at them. They were setting up plays of their own too. Like, I think 100 Thieves just looked really good in that last game.
Yeah, the discussion about the stark contrast in the compositions between Immortals Academy versus 100 Thieves Academy is, to be quite frank, I think 100 Thieves, their composition, a lot easier to execute than Immortals Academy was. And so it does give Immortals a little bit more agency since they drafted for stronger lane setups, but because they didn't take advantage of those stronger lane setups, once it got to the team fights, you have Call of the Forge God, you've got Solar Flare, and even Poom just sitting outside of Fog of War to be able to set up those great picks onto Immortals Academy just meant it was a lot easier for 100 Thieves to capitalize on Immortals just not being able to execute the composition as well as they would like to. And, you know, regardless of whether that means they played not spectacularly, but they just played the composition as best as they needed to, it still got them a win. And that's the important thing at the end of the day here. As we are getting ready for Game 2 to begin, Mazel and Smacks take us away for the second game of the series.
Max.
Thank you so much, Rafa. It is a pleasure to be back on the caster desk here, and we're getting in the game number 2, my friend. I cannot wait. It is Immortals Academy back on the blue side, 100 Thieves Academy on the red.
And we just heard from the desk saying that for 100 Thieves Academy, they've gone for a different strategy in that first game, using it to mitigate what Immortals Academy wanted to do. I've got a fun stat for you, Mazel. You ready?
Let's hear it.
Ornn, Olaf, Orianna, and Aphelios are all champions that 100 Thieves Academy just played for the first time this split.
So, all right, I like it. I knew I'd call that the Luger one, but hey.
Yeah, and Leona has only been played once by Poom this split. So that last composition got a total of 1/5 of a game in.
Hey, I know that Papa was talking about the dark tech for the main LCS team, but maybe it's gone down to the Academy team as well. I can very much appreciate that, but we are getting a change up here. Immortals Academy opt in to the Aphelios first pick as well.
Yeah, this is, again, highlighting the fact that Aphelios is just so strong in this patch with the lethality build. We're seeing Keith now being the one to pilot this, but it does leave open this Syndra for 100 Thieves Academy, who are going to take no time messing around, locking that one in right away for Ryoma. Another champion that was buffed in this patch, the laning is a lot stronger. You have you have more mana to work with, less mana on the Q cast. But for 100 Thieves Academy, they now have to deal with this Aphelios going down to the bot lane. They at least know it's not a flex to Viper, probably, unless that Masterminds video has any weight where they played Aphelios top. But I don't know don't know if that tech is going to make its way here.
I don't know, Smacks. I don't remember when it was, like a week ago. I've been moving. All right, there's a lot going in my brain, but we were playing a game and we got queued up against 5 ADCs, and it was an Aphelios top who went hull breaker and just dominated the game. I know that's probably not going to happen here. We'll see, but I do also, before we get into these couple second picks, right, we've gotten supports locked in for both sides. I do want to say that there's a lot of similar bans, but one thing that stood out to me is like that core piece of the Varus for 100 Thieves Academy is banned away again by Immortals, but they also ban away the Xin Zhao this time.
Yeah, the Xin Zhao is a ban instead of Thresh, so that means that Poom does get his hands on this pick. Immortals not going to first pick the Thresh for themselves. Rather surprising, because Thresh has just been the all-round best support in the entire game. Feels like he wins lanes and mid games all by himself. If you land a hook, if you save someone with Lantern, just every possible thing that Thresh can do is so game warping. So it is pretty surprising to me that Immortals aren't prioritizing this champion enough to first pick it or ban it anymore, but Boom's going to be very thankful for that as he does get to show his stuff.
Hey, if you can do what you did last game with the Leona, the world is your oyster on the Thresh this time, because you can also save your teammates. But we do have a couple crucial picks coming in here as we get into the second ban phase for both teams. Immortals Academy did pick up the Jace again. See if they can change their focus here and play more towards Viper's Jace on the top side. But then on the other side, we got the Camille locked in, so a little bit of gauntlets thrown down by 100 Thieves Academy.
Certainly a more aggressive counter pick from Tenacity this time around. He's done with being in Orange Jail. Back to the Bruiser and Assassin sort of style that Camille can tend to comply with, especially in a team fight. Landing that Hextech Ultimatum onto Keith's Aphelios is going to be something that 100 Thieves now have at their disposal. I like, though, that you mentioned that the Varus was banned away from Immortals. The Callista now joins the ranks, and they do have another opportunity to ban another marksman if they want to. Things like the Xayah are still available that are pretty strong. The Jinx will be taken away, so respecting the fact that Luger can be a hyper carry in the late.
And I am looking at the Ezreal pick still on board here. I wonder if that's
yeah.
something that 100 Thieves go with, right? It's not necessarily the best combo with the Thresh, but still very, very strong. A lot of escapability there, I gotta say. They do lock in the Viego, though, so we're saving last pick. Unless there's a world where this Syndra goes bot lane, could be saving that last pick for ADC.
Yeah, maybe that's why 100 Thieves Academy have decided to save that pick for later. Maybe that flex pick is an option. But for Immortals, they're now trying to pack a bit more roaming punch into mid lane for Pretty with the Twisted Fate as the lock-in. Thinking about Poppy too, I would really like this pick as a response to the Camille and the Viego jungle. It does deny out those dashes, and Anda is pretty known for pulling out the electrocute full damage Poppy in the jungle, but won't be the case. It will be Lee Sin, and look at that, Lennon, you called it.
Yeah, woo! It's gonna be great. Hey, I've got a big brain sometimes. I do also want to highlight here, wherever this Viego goes, if it is for Kenby, this would also be another first-time pickup here. So I would like to see 100 Thieves continue that trend. But on the other side, I want to dissect this Immortals Academy squad, right? I feel like you have a lot more pieces to be that flexible, skirmish-heavy team that we want them to be. And you also have a lot more mobility on Anda to get around the map, and especially towards this top side of the map. Viper and Pretty are going to be integral for this.
Feels like for Immortals Academy's side, they're trying to include Pretty in on the fun.
Yeah.
This Twisted Fate lock-in. The Destiny becomes available. He and Anda should be able to rip one person to shreds and maybe more if they are snowballing, like we saw last game for Immortals.
You got the response on the other side, though. Just saying.
Yeah. You have a lot of lanes that are tricky to deal with. Now, the very defensive option of Galio, for lane anyway, is going to be very tricky to actually assassinate. But then that defensive option becomes the aggressor when you do pair it with Camille. I love the adaptability that this comp provides for 100 Thieves, and that's one of the benefits that comes with a mid laner like Galio, but also it's just so easy to draft like this when you are opened up to pick Thresh. trash.
Yeah, and we put a lot of focus in this series on this jungle matchup. We'll see what happens in game number 2 as we kick it off. This mid lane semi-global matchup is going to be key to how the skirmishing unfolds. Immortals Academy taking on 100 Thieves Academy in game number 2 of this best of 5.
Thieves already up that one game. One more would take him to match point in this best of 5, and already started with the
Got the
Zen
hook
blade.
shot.
Yeah, that was an excellent use of the hook shot. Great job from Tenacity. He's gonna need to have great hook shots in this game because, again, Immortals on blue side, one of their main strengths is the dive threats from Anda and Viper, and Tenacity doesn't have flash.
It's a little bit tricky up there. You got a lot of mobility, but you take the Ignite, the TP, got a lot of team play potential there and a lot of solo kill potential. We'll see what 100 Thieves can do with that. But I have to say, I know we talked a lot about setting up this, but the eyes are on side of 100 or Immortals Academy for me because you've still got this aggressive center jungler, and on this Lee Sin can be very, very proactive on it. Oh my God, Luger. Oh my God, Luger. No! No!
He's not even gonna kill it. It's just gonna go right back.
God, that's so frustrating. Oh, Syndra bot lane. He might get punished here. Luger gets the Ignite burned on him. Has to burn the cleanse. Not going to burn the flash yet
Wow.
because Kenby's here. Is this a turnaround? Luger getting so low, but now Joey is as well. This is first blood, and it's looking like 100 Thieves party, baby. Everything's red.
Oh no, Luger gets away with bullying Anda, and they even get to kill the bottom lane.
Oh no, Keith! The flashes come out, and Luger survives by a smidgen of health, but Immortals almost go down 0-2 in bot lane. That's not what you want for the start.
Even just going down 0-1 in bot lane is not what you want. It means that Luger is not going to be punished for taking W at level 1. He can hit level 2, get access to that dark sphere, and just go right back to doing what Syndra loves best, which is just sitting back, farming, and maybe going for a little bit of poke all the while. Keith, no flash, Joey dead at level 1, and Anda's clear, stifled early. This is so creative and just so dastardly from 100 Thieves Academy. Like, if this happens to me in a solo game, and I'm playing jungle, I'm just gonna alt F4 and play some TFT, man. I'm done with this.
It feels so bad because he also just stays around because he knows it's coming back. You don't want to leave that side of the jungle because you need to be influential. But
Yeah.
you're still doing red buff here, and Kenby has completely finished his blue and is into the fight.
He gets first blood too. This is quite the start from 100.
First
And
time-
again for 100, they have the scaling on their side. They're up against a team that Immortals has drafted that's very much about the early game skirmishes. They have Lee Sin, Jace, and Twisted Fate, all these champions. Even Leona wants to get into the thick of things and find early advantages, but they're already at a disadvantage immediately off the back of that one play, Lennon.
And now you got to see what fruits that bears. I just want to say, I know I said the start of it while we were talking, but Kenby's first time on the Viego, getting those proactive plays, getting the timing down beautifully. And now it just seems like 100 Thieves are in the driver's seat here, even just with that one kill. You have the Sheen completed for Kenby, so that skirmishing gets even crazier. And he's going to the top side where Anda was looking for an invade. We'll see what that happens. We got a 2v2 on the bot side first. Luger's very, very low at this point, but not going to get aggressed any further as the range wasn't there for Immortals Academy. And now top lane's looking a little dicey here as you do have Kenby and Tenacity roaming together towards Viper, but he's playing pretty safe, and Anda's right here as well.
Anda did have to flash over that wall, though. A little too greedy with the early invade. Kenby arriving on time, as you called out while we were watching the bot. Anda with no flash, that mitigates the playmaking potential that he brings on Lee Sin, and he hasn't been able to go for anything in this early game. He's up 2 camps, but against the scaling champion of Viego, that's not going to mean much when we get to things like 15, 20 minutes in. We do still need to see Anda starting the game quickly, and that just hasn't happened.
And now bot lane going to be aggressed again. Cleanse burned by Keith. You have Ryoma down here as well. Keith not going to go down for the second time. He gets out with his health bar. Tenacity! Tenacity! He's going to get 1v1 by Viper!
Tenacity, this is the downside of not taking flash. You can't have the outplay potential in the 1v1 of just dodging out on the spells, and Viper finds some solace for 100 Thieves Academy. The solo kill again. This has happened now 2 games in a row where Viper finds solo kills in his lane. Is it enough for 100 Thieves to have to go down, though, and maybe send more people to deal with Viper? That's the question that we now have to ask.
Very proposition. Can be. I mean, in some trouble here as well as he's got the entire squad here. Now, Ryoma's gonna be in some trouble here too.
No way!
As no Kimby gets out with literally no health on his health bar. Ryoma getting low. There's the Dark Passage. Can he take it? No, look at all the wards from 100 Thieves against 100 Thieves. Immortals Academy go up 2-1 in kills.
No chance that just happened to Lennon. That was insane. He got knocked up in his resonating strike by the hero's entrance of Ryoma. Okay, we're gonna have to watch that one again later. We need to see what happens with Viper and Tenacity. So it looked like they got flipped around a golf swing by some distance in this.
Look at the calm nature of Viper here. He's getting on the other side. He's still able to take it. That range differential starting to play out. Now we're gonna get the bot lane play.
Okay, look what happens to Anda with his resonating strike in this exchange. It is such a tragedy, and it's honestly just very well timed. As it turns out, look at this. Here it comes.
No! Oh, Tenacity got aggressed top. Now we're getting 100 Thieves with a bounce back play, and a goes for it on Tenacity. He gets outplayed, and now you've got the taunt onto Viper. Viper's got everybody on him, and Kenby picks up another kill.
Tenacity learning from the last play. No flash, no problem. Hook shot is enough movement to get out of Anda's skill shots this time around, and bringing up the roaming squad of the Viego Galio. This is what both comps want to do, and it looks like 100 Thieves are first to the punch. They're first to the plate, and we're going to get to see it again, too. I love the movement that Tenacity shows us in this exchange.
I just feel so bad for Anda. He got so close to that other kill, now he tries to take down Tenacity and just gets obliterated by the damage that comes out from Tenacity. But yeah, oh my goodness. That's just, I cannot believe he survives there.
The precision protocol
and he
saving his life with the shield. He dodges so many skill shots that would have killed him in this exchange. This is disgusting. And the health pot keeping him alive too. Look how low he gets. All right, here comes this hook shot.
Let's see it. Oh! God, 100 Thieves are just mechanically sound today. And Viper, unfortunately, gets left out.
I feel like we're casting a game of Super Smash Bros. Melee. This is... it's just like the micro spacing of every single fight is immaculate. I'm loving the mechanical outplays. This is what we get so excited about 100 Thieves Academy for, is these plays where we can see Kenvi and Tenacity, these young players, just strutting their stuff, going down the catwalk, showing every single thing that they can do on these champions, pushing them to their limits.
So, Smacks, I do want to do a check-in right now because we have some differences building here, but maybe not necessarily in the skirmishing, the fighting, but there is an Immortals Academy lead right now, and it's off the back of some serious CS differentials in top and mid in favor of Viper and Pretty.
Very true. This is what happens when 100 Thieves just roaming around trying to kill everyone. They do have to take some early deficits in their lane, but even then, 100 Thieves making up for it in the bottom lane. You can see that that is about a 30 CS lead in favor of Luger. Keith has been just tremendously bullied. It's really not been close. He will be able to pick up this minion wave, and he won't be punished as heavily as previous exchanges have been, but still not where you want to be against Syndra, who will always be in range and in threat of one-shotting you at any moment.
And there's a lot of squishy members on the side of Immortals Academy, meaning that, you know, Luger's going to have a lot more viability as we get further on. That power unleashed is going to be a little bit scary to deal with for Immortals Academy. But now we are, you know, past that level 6 mark. We're at the moment when objectives are starting to become key here, and 100 Thieves are moving towards this Rift Herald to continue their objective dominance. The question is there a response play across the map? Immortals Academy looks like they're committing to this topside fight.
Bringing everyone, they still have the Destiny Gate from Pretty. Hasn't been used in this game quite yet. There it is.
And it goes in onto the Rift Herald, trying to push out 100 Thieves. There's the Destiny Gate used. Pretty just trying to get 100 Thieves out of the pit. And Immortals Academy take their first objective.
first objective not only of this game, but of the series. They have not been able to get any of the neutrals in that first game, but 100 not quite respecting the ultimate and the roam potential of Immortals Academy. But again, they are leaving Luger on this island in bottom lane. He doesn't have teleport, but he has a lot of means of farming.
Wait! Alright, Tenacity pulled
want
off
this.
of that fight, actually, and it can be full committed with the Heartbreaker. Not gonna find what they were looking for. They did get the flash out of Viper, though, and we've seen them punish that in the past.
We have. Oh. Okay. Missed out on the stun for Luger there. May need to get some more lessons from his mid laner. There's a nice hook.
Can I just say, like, the fact that we're gonna see Joey go aggressive here, you get the cleanse out of a Luger, but I feel like this is a good presence for Immortals Academy. They've got the red and white guns. Keith is feeling confident.
Ooh.
Now Joey's going in. Moonlight Vigil also used. Not gonna get exactly the damage you wanted, but still, Keith and Joey able to keep some pressure in bot lane.
Boom playing Thresh expertly there. Plays to mitigate the Zenith Blades from Joey, keeping the Syndra alive. And even though Luger did have to use his cleanse, it's still going to be okay. It's a much longer cooldown than Solar Flare, so they do have that option later. But 100 can go aggressive. Got Lantern, they've got Viego. It's like Kenby's back.
Yeah, it looks like nothing's gonna cover it. I just want to highlight. I don't know what that means. Highlight the fact that 100 Thieves are bringing some serious tech to this series already, right? This has been multiple games now where we've seen first-time champions pulled out from multiple members on the squad. You got Luger pulling out the Syndra for the first time on stage. You've got Kenby pulling out the Viego. This is so impressive to see, but now Immortals, impressive in their own right, are going to find Boom. They're committing TP, they're committing members, but Joey is in the thick of it, and he goes down. Now you got Anda, and can it be enough to kick back? Ryoma is dead. Response is there from Immortals Academy. They go 1 for 1.
Nice play by Anda to lock down that last kill with the insect kick and flash used. And here comes the Rift Herald bottom lane to Immortals. They're keeping their heads on straight in this early game, and Luger has to be a little careful, dodging out on the shot from Viper, but Anda's here, Rift Herald's here. You gotta back away.
Destiny Gate as well on the backside of it, and Luger just has too many Immortals members. He cannot find any solace. And that will look like first tower going down. If they commit, there's a lot of bodies here, so that resistance does increase. But 100 Thieves are going to be pulling away from it, and they're going to just kind of give this bot lane tower. I do also want to highlight that we have the lane swaps coming. Keith and Joey are going to the top side.
They pull away for 100 Thieves on the spot side, but it's just not fast enough. Luger very greedily staying under this wave, not wanting to miss out on all of these minions, but just ends up dying for it and missing out on them anyway. Not what you want to see. And yeah, just well done for 100 Thieves, punishing that very well. Get to watch this again. Luger, you know, he's just playing on this tightrope for the entire skirmish, just the entire time. But eventually he falls down, and he has to go down to the trampoline below.
Yeah, he does. It's unfortunate for Joey, right? Like, you're just trying to set up your team, but this is the moment that turns around. You're able to at least pull something back from it, and I think that's super important here, especially onto Ryoma, right? And for Immortals, you are dealing with the kind of way that you drafted yourself. I do like that they're putting more resources into Viper on this Jace, because I think that's super important, and you're seeing the commitment come into game number 2.
Love the way that Immortals just keep on warding out the Dark Passage. Also, just keeps that outplay potential that Fresh brings to the table slightly at bay with full words, and it works out very well for them in both of those times. They do get kills because of it. It makes that tightrope dance that Luger's going for just that much more dangerous. That's exactly what Immortals Academy need to do in this game. See, they have bolstered themselves up to a nice gold lead. To be slightly mitigated by this turret, but still there. They still have positioning around Drake.
Yeah, Luger and Poom committing to the top side, maybe pushing that up into the tier 2, but we do have a lot of bodies for Immortals Academy around this Dragon Pit, and especially Anda playing very aggressive into the enemy jungle of Kenvi. See if Immortals want to pull back, but you do have the roam now coming in from Luger and Poom to back up the team in mid lane, making things a little bit more tricky without their ADC for Immortals Academy.
Just still waiting around this dragon, not wanting to officially commit to it, but not wanting to officially commit to anything else either. Keith still top is very valuable to have in the fight, so maybe that's something that Immortals are thinking. They don't want Keith to just be out on an island. They want him to be there, but their willy-nilly decision does just mean that give it up for free, and Immortals lose out on that first dragon again.
It is a little bit tragic, but it is continuing that dragon dominance from 100 Thieves.
Oh.
Now, Immortals trying to continue their dominance here. Can they find it? The kick comes out. Ryoma all by himself. Kenby's here in a 1v3 now that Ryoma's down. Heartbreaker comes out, but the resonance is there. Not going to follow it up under tower because Boom and Luger were right there to respond.
Another pick from Immortals. I feel like 100 Thieves, they should have known that this was going on. They did just take Dragon after watching Immortals back away. Really only one place that they could be, and it was on the top side of the map. But nonetheless, Ryoma, not as tanky as he thought he was, goes down. And it looks like the Immortals squad is going to take down another topside turret. He's able to farm up to his heart's delight. And he's going to be pretty dangerous on this Aphelios. If he does go for that lethality build, you can see it on the bottom left of your screen. He does have a few points in lethality. That is what the third icon means. If you have a higher number there, you have a higher bit of lethality. So, the more you know.
Kind of important. The more you learn something new every day. I know I was highlighting this earlier, and we got a little bit of lonely action, so I'm going to return to it. And we were talking about 100 Thieves bringing out new picks on the day, right? And finding success in them, at least in game one, and here a little bit in game number 2. But we also didn't talk about Immortals, right? This is the first time, at least that I have recorded, that Viper is playing this Jace. He's played it twice in a row. Game 1 didn't go so well, but now that they're putting resources into him in top lane, it feels really nice. And you're also getting Pretty's first TF, which is super huge in the fluidity that they want to play with.
Love the adaptations that we're getting for the playoffs for both of these teams. You really do need to cover all the bases and make sure that all of your options are tip-top shape so that when you do get into the later stages of the postseason, because Academy Playoffs isn't the last tournament that these teams are going to be playing in. They're still proving grounds. You have to have all these strategies available.
Ooh, we're getting the fight. Pretty already almost down. He Destiny gated into it, but gets Heartbreaker immediately. The shutdown goes to Kenby. Boom almost dies to the accelerated shock blast. But Immortals are down a member. They need to back away.
Great stasis usage from Immortals, or from 100 Thieves Academy, rather. Freddy takes the bait. Destiny is right on in, and it feels like this is deja vu from the Syndra game where he teleports into a dangerous position. But not live to tell the tale. Yeah. Jace does a lot of damage.
Yeah, just a little bit. I mean, a tiny, tiny bit. I will also say Pretty didn't burn his flash or cleanse, so maybe there was something there that could have happened, but I think it was safe. You were just going to die here in the middle of everybody.
Oh
now they're pushing in mid lane, though, because of what happened, and Luger is down super low, but Kenby wants to go in now that Tenacity's here. Hextech ultimatum, TP on the back from Ryoma. This is a turnaround, but it's not going in Immortals' favor. It's going all 100 Thieves' way, as the double kill goes to Boom of all people.
He deserves it for that one. Landing a flash hook on the Thresh and the Flay to follow it up. Well done for the support of the 100 Thieves. And you know what? It may not be optimal for your support getting the kills, but I appreciate it. I'm a support main. If I make plays like that, I'm gonna pop off too. Give me those kills.
It's a little bit of a late birthday present for Poom, no big deal, just a couple days away. But he does get those 2 kills, and it sets up 100 Thieves more so for this map movement, right? You're seeing them being able to take at least the dragon. We'll see what this next Rift Herald has entailed, because you got 30 seconds. I don't think either team's gonna make it there, but we're gonna get a replay of that mid lane fight.
Watch this again. Again, it is Luger playing so far forward because Dark Passage is there.
Man.
Pretty voids a lot of that damage from the Unleashed power, but this crowd control setup is just way too much. You can't stay
that Heartbreaker timing, insane.
Yeah. You can't stasis in the melee range of all these champs. You'll just die. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter if you stay alive for 2.5 seconds. You're just delaying your death timer by that much.
You see, this is where they felt confident to move up. Anda is right north of them, but it's such a far distance that there's nothing
Here it comes.
to do with...
You ready?
Yeah, exactly.
Swoop.
And
Nice.
you just got Boom doing these things, and as you see, like you could see him at the top of the screen. He was at the Raptor pit, but there was no entrance for him anywhere in that fight. Now we got Boom moving forward with the team, misses the death sentence, but now Immortals want the re-engage here. The Solar Flare misses. They get the yellow card here onto Boom, but look at the back line. You've got so much. Hextech Ultimatum's dogs out. A heroic entrance comes down, and Keith is dead. So is Joey, and it's 5 against 3. You can reset the plenty for Kenby. He gets the stun onto Pretty. Pretty's gonna go down next. It's just looking like a train, and it's rolling right through Immortals' base, as that is another dragon taken by 100 Thieves here off the back of a fight win.
Another Drake and another fight for 100 Thieves. The bot lane for Immortals Academy just can't catch a break. Their aggression is just not paying off. And Tenacity, even after diving and being this assassin-like frontline for his team, gets to survive too. Immortals just don't get anything there. It's gotta feel terrible. Viper's still on the map, will pressure mid lane, but the damage has already been done. 100 Thieves get the second Drake to their name. Still stacking those up. See if this mid goes down? I think it will. Nice. That's
Third.
something.
He's gonna die though, Max. He's gonna die.
yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
You got the TP from behind by Tenacity. That's gonna be the shutdown as well for Kenby over Viper. That's gonna be a huge momentum shift. But as you said, he gets all the outer towers, so at least you have a little bit of pressure relief for Immortals Academy. But they gotta find something to stick in this game. We said we wanted to see them put priority into Viper on this Jace. They did early, but they haven't found anything else for him.
Look at what Tenacity does in this fight, because he's sort of like the back alleyman here, getting to the back line.
Nobody looks at
everything.
him. Look at that.
Yeah. He gets to stun all of these members, land the Hextech Ultimatum, and even though Viper plays this really well by knocking him out of it and freeing Keith, it's already done.
Well,
Keith has
and
already
Keith
been
gets
locked
pushed
down.
back. Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. It's just very well done by Tenacity, and he lives on top of it. So, like, he's okay with dying there, but the fact that he lives just makes it that much better for 100. And then Predator Galio gets to chase everyone else
Yeah.
down, too. Very fun build.
The synergies are shown here for the side of 100 Thieves Academy, and for Immortals, it's kind of a little bit of a tighter issue. We're going to continue to see this replay because Viper gets caught out on the back end of it after having the escape in that last fight. It's just a little bit of an overextension.
Turret's nice, though, and it is one of the reasons why Immortals aren't struggling too much in the gold department. They're only down about 500. But honestly, it's going to feel like they're down way more than that, for the players, because they've just lost a huge fight. They're down a few dragons, and the turret gold isn't going to feel that good. But this is
Oh no, another catch out, but at this time for Immortals Academy as Pretty takes down Tenacity.
That's a nice one for Immortals. That one might be a morale booster, but really the mentality that goes into losing a big team fight, even if you are ahead, oh my goodness, they're going for
Oh,
another one.
Joey. Joey's caught out yet again. The Winds of War will
Oh, boy.
set the space, and boom. Go ahead and give him a rampage. Why not? Oh no! Oh no! And not even expecting it, the Zenith Blade comes out from Kenby.
Hate to say it, Joey. The best Leona in this game has got to be Ken. That was sick. That was
sick.
well
That
done.
was very sick.
That means that it's going to be a Baron for 100 Thieves, or at least they're going to start it up. Not really anything Immortals can do about it yet. You see the little particles there for spectate. You know that it's being taken down, and Immortals just aren't going to try this at all. They're going to instead try to pressure the bot lane turret. But yeah, it's going to be Baron.
It's really rough. There's no response. The thing that I've been wanting to see here in this game, and maybe it's just a little bit me overthinking it, but I would love to see the response plays, the cross-map plays from Immortals Academy, but they can't find it. They're not on those timing windows, and now they just lose the Baron.
3-1 is just so tough when you are this far down, and you are against Camille, too. Camille is
Exactly.
not an easy champion to side lane against. With the Divine Sunderer, too, like, the sustain battle is not going to be won, the poke battle is not going to be won, and you're certainly not going to want to be in melee range of her ever. So the picks that they were finding on Tenacity in that side lane, that's the kind of play that's really good. But then going for a team fight afterward, it just doesn't quite make sense.
Man, Joey just goes full committal there, and maybe there's a little bit of talk from the team to go for that fight, but you've got to realize that heroic entrance is coming right on top of you, and then after this, it's one of those situations where 100 Thieves feel confident, and that just plays into this, right? Anda is trying to get away, trying to get space between him and the fight, but 100 Thieves are just too quick on the draw.
Not only did Joey give a kill over, but he gave a Leona ability over in the Zenith Blade. Not what you want. Joey, you can see that he's trying to go for these plays. You can see that he is finding the picks in his head, but there's just not the same level of follow-up.
He is the engage. Like, he is the primary. I mean, Anda can find kickouts. Those insects are huge, right? But that is your engage, is Joey on the Leona.
Yeah, but when you don't have follow-up, it just doesn't work. Leona does not deal enough damage or take enough damage herself to make that work without the rest of the squad. And truth be told, most of this team for Immortals is going for...
Anda just died in a solo kill to Luger.
Oh yeah, he's dead right there, you're right.
In mid lane. We gotta see a replay of that. That is so detrimental to Immortals, because as I was saying earlier, I wanted to see cross map plays, I wanted to see response plays, but 100 Thieves are just sweeping these objectives, these dragons. They're on soul point already.
Yeah, this is a repeat of last game. A little bit slower to the punch for the Drakes, but still making it work as 100 Thieves. They've got all these minions in the bot side. Okay.
Can't hit him with the hook shot. That'd be cool too. Hextech ultimatum here, and look at the cavalry. They've all showed up, but they're AoEing down. Moonlight Vigil comes out, and Luger gets a kill, but Pretty gets the response here. As now Tenacity's down, you have a lot of that lockdown missing. Healthy health bars from Immortals Academy. Does Anda go for this? You have Pretty with the card. Does he have the distance? He lands it on the Ryoma, but that signals the re-engage. Can be very low, but heroic interest comes in.
Oh, no.
Not gonna hit anybody. This is so neck and neck. This is a fight that Immortals can take. This is a turnaround for them if they can pull it off, but there's not the confidence there. There's not the bodies there. You've got Destiny Gate, you've got TP from Pretty, who just finished backing, but the turnaround is too quick, too ruthless, and too dang hard. That's 100 Thieves turn around the fight as soon as they knew they were in an advantage. And Keith is all by himself. He's going to be able to buy some time as Joey does arrive. But 100 Thieves are continuing to snowball their advantage.
Ryoma, the Alcove Gamer, getting into the bush.
Okay, Solar Flare goes wide. We had a cleanse also burned by Luger.
They're still having a food fight, it feels like, just throwing things across the cafeteria floor.
All right,
okay.
Here it is. Here it is.
What is this? Oh, it's just Syndra.
Oh my god! There's just no
Syndra.
response. There's nothing you can do.
Yeah. Feels bad for Anda there. We've all been there. We've all been hit by Syndra Ultimate.
We know what the press R button champion does.
You just gotta buy some magic resistance, you know? Keith got the memo. He's got a wit's end.
He does have the memo. Who doesn't have the memo is Tenacity, as he's got 4 members on top. Oh my god, okay. He doesn't get Pretty there with the Hextech ultimatum. He will get taken out. So that's a big pickup for Immortals Academy. They gotta continue.
It's a good kick by Anda. Making sure that the hook shot was not able to let Tenacity escape.
Oh,
Joey, though...
Joey was maybe trying to back there, but now he's just got Kenby smelting his health bar, and that's the heartbreaker to finish him off.
Viper get the recall off. Yes. No, he doesn't.
Oh no, the 1v1, it's the 2v1, and Viper's been baited into a 3v1, as Ryoma, actually it's only going to be 2 that get the credit, and it's Ryoma who gets the kill.
Oh man, now... Immortals, they find this pickoff onto Tenacity, and this is the second time that they've done this in this game. It's very well done. This is one of the ways that you can attack a Camille on that sideline. You just bring all these members, and they've got a good comp to do it, but they're just sticking around, and they're getting overconfident afterward. But 100 Thieves, they still have so much power in the skirmish, and they can even tank turrets without any minions. Take them down, yeah.
Oh my goodness. A 6-0-10 Viego, first time performance for Kenby on stage. You can appreciate that to all ends here, but not on the side of Immortals Academy. You've got to find answers. You've got to find the setups for yourselves. You've got a decent team fight. You've got a decent amount of setup. You've got a decent amount of lockdown, but it just hasn't come together. 100 Thieves are so quick to collapse.
Really are. And that's what has net them this gigantic lead. See if it can actually net them that Ocean Soul 2. It's going to be coming up in 45 seconds. Some jungle buffs handing off rather the respective members who need. And the fight is going to have to be huge for Immortals or another pickoff because they have been doing a great job of those.
Yeah, they really have. And, you know, Poke from Viper is starting to do some serious damage. He's working on his 4th item right now and has the Shereldia's Grudge. So you can really find a lot of Poke and then set up into the fight. But 100 Thieves say, no, you're not going to get the chance. We're just going to take it to you. You might be having all 5 members, but we want the engage. Whom is going to get out with his life as well? Tenacity's already taken down pretty. You're losing members left and right. And 100 Thieves, Immortals, get the kill on the backside onto Poom. But what does it do? 100 Thieves take another team fight while only losing 1 member. Oh my god,
Tenacity's still
going
not
for it.
done.
Tenacity's going for it. Viper's gonna go down. Is this an ace? This is 100 Thieves getting game number 2.
They've got the minion waves. I think they're going to end it right now, Mazel. Game 2 is all things 100 Thieves. Tenacity may be getting
20
picked off in the
seconds? I
side
don't know.
lane. Wait,
They got 20
okay,
seconds.
they're leaving. They're
They
playing
gotta go
it
for the
safe.
soul, all right? They gotta go for the soul. That's the most important thing. You might be winning by like 8,000 gold. Yeah, you work this hard to get 3 dragons. You gotta finish the run.
Makes sense to me. But yeah, Tenacity's team fighting on Camille, it's just so clean. He finds the Hextech ultimatums, he finds these hook shots. Most of them actually do hit the wall and don't just completely whiff. And he's finding just amazing
Look at
picks.
Viper. That was huge on the side. I know
He's
it
doing
doesn't
very
do
well.
much. I know it doesn't do much, but you're
Yeah.
able to shut down Poom. We had like 4 kills and a shutdown bonus on him, so at least you get something.
You're seeing instances of Viper's Jace doing so much work, and it just makes you wonder, like, what could he have possibly done if you see the traditional Immortals and a Viper style, where they're just brute forcing the top lane every single game and finding all of these picks and finding all these kills for Viper, because he didn't get that in this game or the last game.
Yeah.
He's still pumping out so much damage on Jace.
But this is where I have to think, do you just laud 100 Thieves for the way that they're approaching it? They have a very tried and true fashion of winning games for Immortals Academy. 100 Thieves seemingly have found their kryptonite, as we've been talking in the sides about it, because there is just no real response that can come out from Immortals Academy when you're able to play lanes like you are, when you're able to have this fluidity as a team comp, and especially with Tenacity, just able to quell the chaos, the strength that is Viper in the top lane.
Relda's is really big for Viper, but I don't know if he's going to be able to do anything when he's just cornered
so
into his
many
own
minions.
base.
Oh my
All of these
goodness.
minions, the Baron buff, double inhib down. IMT, you got to do something or else you're going to
Gotta
lose
draw
game
a line
2.
in the sand somewhere. Is this the Alamo or are you just letting it go? Joey getting low. That's a big top from Ryoma. And 100 Thieves are gonna rout Immortals if they can take this last one. Yes, he's caught. Keith is down. Your main damage sources and the minions as well, just taking down the base of Immortals Academy. We gotta hope for the reverse sweep now because 100 Thieves are looking to rob the bank.
100 Thieves say, hey, we'll take down the champions, you minions. You can do the dirty work. You can take the Nexus for us. Match point for 100 Thieves Academy in this quarterfinal match. Very, very well done. And it's another different strategy. Like we were saying, they're not going for the teamfight style. They're picking things like the Camille. They have other options to counter what Immortals Academy want to do, and every single one that 100 Thieves are bringing out seems to work amazing.
And that's the thing, right? The evolution that we've seen over 2 games, it's not that full team fight potential that we saw in game number 1. It's those different pieces that are still aligning. And I highlighted at the beginning, I just think that the TF into Galio, like, just, you can be proactive, you get gold early on the TF, like, I feel like that's really good. But I've seen so many times where TF just cannot handle the response that comes out from a Galio. You both have those semi-globals. But the thing is the TF is setting up for the kill. The heroic interest is literally perfect for that to respond to it. We saw it come through so many times where Immortals just weren't able to get off the ground running. And so that's where I'm looking at this third game. I'm looking at this potential of a reverse sweep. I'm looking at Viper in the top lane. I need to see these pop-up plays. I need to see Viper turning it up to 11 here as we get further into this series. We got to send it to a little break. On the other side of this, we will have the analyst desk breaking down the second game.
Verizon believes everyone deserves the best. That's why we start with 5G from America's most reliable network.
Verizon 5G is next level.
Then give families plans to mix and match, so you only pay for what you need starting at $35.
It's so much more than just a great network.
And offer the best in entertainment on select unlimited plans, like Disney Plus, Hulu, and ESPN Plus, as well as Discovery Plus, with a Galaxy S21 Plus 5G when you buy one. There's no reason to settle for less than the best, only from Verizon.